Imagine a man so powerful, so cunning, that he took a divided land of squabbling states and turned it into an empire, one that would shape the course of world history. Otto von Bismarck. If you haven't heard of him, buckle up, because this guy wasn't just a politician, he was a mastermind, a chess player who moved entire nations like pieces on a board. Germany as we know it, it didn't exist before Bismarck. In the mid-1800s, the land was a patchwork of over 30 separate states. Prussia, the biggest of them, had ambition, but ambition alone doesn't unify a nation. Bismarck saw what others didn't. He knew that words and diplomacy had their place, but power. Power was forged in war and strategy. And he had both in spades. They called him the Iron Chancellor, and he lived up to the name. His philosophy? Blood and iron. Translation: you don't build a great nation through speeches and votes. You build it through strength. And he did just that. Step 1. Bismarck needed Prussia to dominate the German-speaking world. First, he picked a fight with Denmark in 1864. A quick, decisive war. Prussia and Austria tag-teamed against the Danes, snatching the territories of Schleswig and Holstein. Victory. But Bismarck wasn't done. Step 2. Austria was next. Prussia's so-called ally wouldn't be an ally for long. In 1866, Bismarck engineered a war, and in just 7 weeks, Prussia crushed Austria. That's when Bismarck did something genius. Instead of humiliating Austria, he let them walk away, strong enough to stay important but too weak to challenge Prussia again. Smart, right? Step 3, the grand finale. France. In 1870, Bismarck pulled off one of the most legendary political tricks in history. He doctored a telegram, the famous EMS dispatch, to insult the French Emperor, Napoleon III. The French took the bait and declared war. Big mistake. Prussia and its allies obliterated France, capturing Napoleon III himself. And guess what? In the aftermath, the German states, pumped up on victory and unity, officially declared a new empire, the German Empire. And who was at the top? Kaiser Wilhelm I, with Bismarck as his right-hand man. In just under a decade, Bismarck had created a powerhouse. But he wasn't just a war guy. The dude was a strategist in peacetime too. He built Europe's first modern welfare state, pensions, health insurance, workers' rights, all Bismarck. And why? Not out of kindness, but because he knew that keeping people happy kept revolutions away. Bismarck also played international politics like a grandmaster. He kept Europe in balance, making sure France stayed weak and Russia stayed friendly. No unnecessary wars, no reckless expansion, just calculated moves to keep Germany on top. But here's the twist, his downfall wasn't a foreign enemy. It was his own Kaiser. When Wilhelm II took over in 1888, he didn't want an old genius running the show. So, in 1890, Bismarck was forced out. And guess what? Without him, Germany's careful balancing act collapsed. The road to World War I. It started when Bismarck left the stage. Otto von Bismarck wasn't just a politician, he was a force of nature. He shaped Germany, changed Europe, and left a legacy that still echoes today. Love him or hate him, one thing's for sure, you can't ignore him. And that's the story of how one man, with sheer will and strategy, built an empire from the ground up. If you enjoyed this dive into history, hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments, who should we cover next?